Dr. Rosina McAlpine, and I want to tell you a story that really touched my heart not long ago. I live in Wollongong, and there's a beautiful train trip from Wollongong to Sydney, and that's where most of our clients are, in Sydney. So I get to travel on the train quite a lot. And this one time, and it happened 2 days in a row, there was a young man that got on the train, and he was tall, he was handsome, he was probably about 25, 26, and he was clearly a construction worker. He had the overalls on, and the safety vest, steel cap boots that had that little bit of, dust and mud and dirt. And I was sitting here, and he just sat opposite me. And as we pulled out of the station, all of a sudden, those dusty boots that I just mentioned went up on the seat, the cloth seat in front of me. And I was like, it's a bit hard not to sort of have that reaction and thinking, what about the poor person that's it's a very full train, people are going to come on. But I just kept quiet and, don't be judgmental, take a deep breath. And all of a sudden, as we started to pull into the next station, the boots came off. And I thought, there you go. He's had to think about it. He's taken his boots off. People are going to come on. This is all good. See, you didn't need to judge it all, Rosina. Just sit there, enjoy your train trip. As soon as we pulled out of the station, guess what? Boots went back on. And I watched him do that for station after station after station until he got off halfway between Wollongong and Sydney. Anyway, I just sort of let that go, got on with my day, did my work, enjoyed the trip, and we get on the train the next morning, same train, same time, same carriage. Here he is again, and I'm like, wonder what's going to happen now. Off and on, off and on, off and on. And this time it was bugging me. I'm like, what is this? What's this about? And then it dawned on me. At the stations, transport officers get on and get off to check the Opal cards. And they check whether or not people have got their feet on seats. Now, it's not like he didn't know, because there was a sign literally above his head, with the seats, no, don't put your feet on the seats. So it was right there. And I realised then he just didn't want to get into trouble. He didn't want to fine. He didn't want to get caught. He didn't want to get disciplined. He didn't want to get punished. And it really occurred to me that where did that start? And it probably started in childhood, right? With a parent or a teacher saying, get your feet off the furniture, or you're going to go to detention, or you're going to go to your room, or you're going to get a smack, right? So that whole concept wasn't about respect for self and others. It was about not getting in trouble. And that's basically the paradigm that, who can put their hand up and say they were raised in carrot, stick, discipline, punishment, rewards kind of environment? Yeah, that's basically the environment that we were raised in, and would you all agree is pretty much continuing. If you do something well as a child in a classroom or in a house or out there in the world, whether you're doing sport, good girl, good job. And if you do something that doesn't kind of please everybody, bad girl, bad boy, bad job, you're going to miss out on something, you're going to get disciplined and punished. And I remember growing up like that. And what basically that meant was that I was always striving to try and get everybody's approval, to be a good girl so that people liked me and that I had some kind of value. So when our son was born, I didn't want that. I didn't want that for him. And that's basically where win-win parenting was born, because I just wanted a different model. And so I looked for life skills. I thought, no, I want him to be a caring, kind, loving, empowered, amazing boy who's going to make a difference in this world. So unlike that young boy who was putting his feet on seats, not because no one told him, you know why we don't do that, honey? Because we love other people. We care for other people. We want them to have a clean seat to sit on. That's why we don't put our feet on seats, not because we're going to get a smack or we're going to get in trouble or we're going to get detention, but because we're part of a family, a community, our society, our world, right? And then you might say, oh, well, okay, maybe discipline and punishment isn't good, but what about rewards? Rewards are good, right? Rewarding good behaviour. Well, at one of the seminars I was running for Win-Win Parenting, a lady came up to me and she was a nanny, and she said to me, "You just said rewards, discipline and punishment can cause external validation rather than that internal compass." She said, "I want to run something by you because I nanny for a very affluent family and they give me $10 for each child at the start of the week, and when they read their readers, they get $10 from me. So they get paid to read. They get rewarded for reading." And I'm guessing you all got alarm bells just going right now like I did. But the thing is, we don't want to, for me, it's not about judgment. I believe with all my heart that every parent does the best they can possibly do with the knowledge and the understanding that they have, the way they were raised, the opportunities that they've got. And so these are loving parents going, hey, if I can only inspire them to read with the $10, maybe they'll do well at school, maybe they'll do well in life. And those parents who smack or discipline and punish are going, hey, if I don't do this, the kids will run with the wolves and they'll get off course, So it all comes from a loving, caring, generally a loving and a caring intention. So what I was looking for with Win-Win Parenting was to try and find an approach that wasn't based on rewards, discipline and punishment, but could really empower our children to be the best they could be. And I kept seeing this pattern, whether it was neuroscience, biology, psychology, no matter what area I looked at, I kept seeing patterns. And those patterns were stop, respond rather than react. That, you bad, you good, that reaction versus just stopping. And that's what Alex was talking about, taking a moment, stopping. And the next thing was that empathy and connection, really understanding our children or the human being in front of us. And the final part, and the most exciting part for me as an educator, is education. So I've got a little acronym for you. Stop, S, empathise, E, educate. C, a new way that we can raise our children, teach, respond to other people, communicate. So it's just C, stop, empathise, educate. So what does that look like in the case of these, children that we were talking about, the ones that were putting feet on seats or needing $10 to read a book? It would mean self-regulation for ourselves, taking a breath, being present to what we're doing. And I'm not talking about perfection. We're not asking for perfection here. We're asking for personal bests. Can't do better than your personal best, right? And in Win-Win, we don't give any recommendations because I feel like parents get more recommendations and told what to do more than any other group in society, and they're criticised and judged. So we say, you know what, we're going to give you good information, great ideas, resources, and you take on board what's going to work for your family. So the stop is to be present, calm, and respond. The empathy is all about that connection. And that's what humanity is about, right? Connecting. And what do you want to do more than anything with your own child or a child that you're caring for in front of you? Is connect. Connect with the heart. And we know that when we're connected, we're open, we're not scared, and we're ready for learning, education. And that's where the life skills come in. So we can teach our children through life skills education how to be in the world. Not with rewards, discipline and punishment, but with that beautiful internal compass. Who do you want to be in the world? How do you want to act? How do you want to react? How are we role modelling to our children? So for me, the little acronym of a simple C, stop, empathise, educate, can make all the difference. And if we start with the adults of the world, the teachers, the coaches, the parents, all the people, the early childhood educators, if we start with us and we role model that stop, empathise, educate, we change the world in one generation. Because those little ones who come through are going to have the ability through our role modelling and our direct teaching how to stop, how to empathise with others and how to educate. So that's the message I want to share A simple acronym, SEE. See the world in a new way, communicate in a new way through stop, empathise and educate. Thank you.